Good, whatever time it is that you're watching this. I want to talk today a little bit about scripts and discovery and qualifying, greeting when we're out in the model home. What do you think when you think of scripts? I know most salespeople that I've talked to are not fans of scripts. They think, well, scripts seem canned, it seems manipulative. So, why do we practice scripts? Think about the sales process in general. It is managing chaos. That's what you're doing out on site. You're managing chaos. You have no control when a customer shows up, no control of what their needs are, what their worries are, what's going on in their personal lives, who happens to show up when you're showing the model home, the certain elements that might be going on, like for example, or let's just say a lock isn't working and you have to figure out a way to get in the home, or somebody closed early and you didn't realize, so a home that you were going to show is no longer showable. There could be a dozen things that go wrong when you're showing. So how do we make it have a little bit less chaos so that we can get the information that we need and be able to remember it? Because if there's too much going on, if you're constantly worried about which home you're going to show, what the conditions are going to be, trying to find information as you go, you're going to have trouble remembering what that customer is looking for, and you're not going to do as good of a job as you could in serving their needs because you're not going to remember them. So, and you may not even remember to ask the important questions. So that's the reason for scripts, so that we practice it so that it is second nature, so that when things completely derail, we still have kind of a base to go back and we make sure that we're asking all the right questions and getting the information that we need. So, for greeting and discovery, I like to start off with just practicing a drill where when they come in, thank them for coming in. Thanks for coming to Ashbrook by Keystone. Would you care for something to drink? Is this your first visit? So I'm going to greet them, make them feel welcome, and quickly establish, is this their first visit coming out? If it is, excellent, welcome. We'll take a look, find out what they're looking for and take a look around. If it's not their first time visiting, then I want to find out who they worked with and what they're looking to accomplish that day. That helps me. I don't have to sell beyond the close if they're here just to write up an agreement, or maybe we can pick up where they left off rather than sending them through a process that they've already done and making them uncomfortable. So, have you visited the model home before? Okay, great. About how much time do you have to look at our new homes today? I want to find out, are they in a rush? Do they need to get back to the kids to pick them up at school? Or do we have a little bit of time so we can slow things down? I also want to, when we ask them, would you care for something to drink? That's getting them in the mindset of making a decision. So yes or no, really quickly making a decision. And then we move on to, how did you hear about our location here? And what piqued their interest. We're trying to get an idea of, is this someplace that they just kind of stumbled upon? Do they know they want to live here, or are they just kind of out and about? I want to find out, when they find a home that they like, how soon are they looking to move in? So kind of establishing time frame, and are they really serious? If they say they're looking for something 2 years out, 3 years out when they're going to retire, then maybe that's not as serious. Well, we've established that up front, so if another customer comes in, we can politely excuse ourselves and go and talk with that other customer. Have you looked at any other locations? And how do you like the process of looking for homes so far? This gives an idea of about how long they've been looking at new homes, because I want to know how long they've been at this. Are they starting to get frustrated? What are some of their concerns? How new are they to the process? Because if they're just starting out, if this is the first time that they've looked at, they may have an unrealistic point of view. And I want to know that up front, because I can start to anticipate objections that might come up front. Oh, well, it's a buyer's market and this and that. And I can kind of reinforce what the actual market is like. I also, once I've established how soon they're looking to move into a new home, okay, are you planning on selling your current home before acquiring a new one? They might be renting and they'll tell you that at that point. Or are they going to need to sell a home, or are they in a place where they can just move in? I want to know what kind of barriers to entry we're going to have and start thinking about what I can do to overcome those objections. So we talked about how soon when you find a home, how soon are you looking to move? Will you be selling your present home? I also want to know, if they are selling it, is it currently listed with a realtor? Is that something they're going to have to deal with later on? I also want to know, I say, okay, well, it sounds like all you need is a brand new home. Now, in this neighborhood, our homes are valued between 150, well, let's say 160 and to the low 200s? Is there a particular price range that you're looking for? Now, the reason I give them this price range up front is because, have you ever asked somebody if they have a budget in mind and they say, I want something under 100 or I want to pay $500 a month? This kind of sets the anchor and gives them an idea of, okay, in this neighborhood, this is what we have. Is there a certain range you're looking at? And then they can ask a little bit more questions. But within that range, they give you a value, let's say 160. You say, okay, in that range we have 3-bedroom single stories, and for just a little bit more you can start getting into 4-bedroom single stories or 3 and 4-bedroom 2 stories. Is there something specific that you're looking for? So I'm kind of narrowing down what they're looking for then, and then once they give me that, they can elaborate, okay, well, what else is important to you? What else would you like to have in your home? Can you describe in a little bit more detail what you're looking for? And then we can kind of get an idea of that. And then the last thing that I want to do is what I think Bob Schultz refers to as chunking, and that's basically repeating the information back to them. Just to clarify, so I want to say, okay, you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single story, you want a large yard, kitchen being an open concept is important to you, you're looking to move in August, and you're trying to spend around 160. Does that sound about right? That not only proves that you were listening, shows that you care, but it also lets them clarify anything. So if they're thinking, well, I could probably go up to 170, they can kind of clarify that, and you don't feel like you have to show them this exact home that fits their description. So once you've kind of narrowed things down, you know where you can go to, where you can take the buyer. Now, that's how we practice. And in reality, again, it's managing chaos. So probably what's going to happen, somebody comes in, they're in a rush, they just want to look at homes, or they kind of cut you off. That's fine. You've practiced these questions, you know how to ask them, your voice, intonation, and body language. You've practiced all that, so you can ask those questions as you're showing the model home or as you're showing other homes. And if you realize that you've forgotten one later on, you can just kind of work it back into your presentation. So anyway, that's discovery and qualifying. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on site.